Heaslip.
Emily Heaslip. Yeah, England. It sounds very English.
Sort of. I think you said, guys, good.
We heard some heavy breathing, and then we got just go, and it literally said anthem, so I'm like, you can't talk about it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, we can. Well, he gives us the less than 30, which I don't know what less than 30 is.
Yeah.
And good morning, everybody. Happy Easter. Welcome inside Toyota Stadium for the first of our broadcast finals today of the 2024 Dallas Cup. It is the boys U17 final featuring La Roca, as you can see from their crest. They're from the state of Utah. And then the Mexican powerhouse Tigres, UANL, will be their opponent this morning. Alongside Steve Davis, I'm Owen Newkirk. Steve, I think the teams might benefit from the overcast conditions because it's supposed to be for a late March day in North Texas, a fairly warm day, but I'm guessing that the temperatures will stay a little lower because of the cloud cover early in the morning.
Conditions near perfect because, as you said, no big sun beating on everybody. So looking forward to a good game.
So for La Roca, they're not the first time visiting the final here for the Dallas Cup, as they actually won the tournament. First Utah champion 2 years ago in the U19 division.
Yeah, I remember that game. They actually went down a man in the third minute, so they had to play 87 minutes a man down. So quite the gutty effort on that one.
And then for the other side, for Tigres, they have been all over the Dallas Cup in the past. 4 Supergroup titles, most of any club. Of course, they won this division last year. Different group, because that team now would be a year older. But they're looking to try to defend their Dallas Cup title for the U17 division. Referees today, Emily Heaslip. It's an all-English group. She will be the match referee. Isabel Chaplin and Grace Lowe are the assistant referees, and Melissa Bergen is the fourth official. Now, Steve, on Friday for the super group, we had the semifinals. We had VAR. I do not believe that we have VAR available for this final. If it is, that would be a surprise because we haven't heard otherwise, but you never know. But I would imagine that these four ladies are going to be the ones that are making all the decisions in this U17 final.
Yeah, and we would usually have a VAR listed here. We don't have that, so I don't believe we're going to have VAR for this one. We do know it's under 17, but it's still playing 45-minute halves. And if they are tied at the end of those two 45-minute halves, they go directly into penalty kicks in all the finals today, except for the super group later this evening.
Looks like both of these teams are going to play 4-3-3 as the tactical lineups we received. Tigres with two attacking midfielders and one holding, whereas La Roca playing with a double pivot at the 6. Again, these can change and be a little bit more in the modern game, flexible, but it certainly looks like they're both going with the back 4.
Yeah, we know in the pro game, a lot of times now, teams defend out of one shape, attack out of another, and the youth, I think they try to keep it a little simpler than that and keep the same shape in possession and out. It is interesting, as I hear myself talk about youth. This is under 17, so these are mostly 16-year-olds. But it's interesting. It's hard to see them at this level as youth soccer anymore because you're going to see a lot of guys on the field today are going to go on and play in colleges or universities, or in the case of Tigres, they might go on. They're already very close to perhaps getting pro contracts at this level. So a lot of talent out there, Owen.
You mentioned the age group. All of the La Roca players, including those on the bench, as I glance the roster, are 2007s. There are, even in the starting lineup, a couple of 08s for Tigres. So a little bit more of a mix of between those 16 and maybe some 15-year-olds. But we're underway with the opening half as Tigres will be attacking the north end of Toyota Stadium. The La Roca side from Utah will be attacking the Soccer Hall of Fame. It's the U.S. National Soccer Hall of Fame south goal as the orientation of the stadium lays out here in Frisco. Walt Kilgore with an early touch. He's the captain for La Roca, playing as the right center back. He'll knock it forward.
Oh, and I remember.
Here's a chance into the box, but picked up by the goalkeeper, Luis Patricio Gomez. Steve, I was looking at our tactical lineup for Tigres because the first player that made the touch on the back line, number 298, nowhere to be seen in that lineup. So just glancing the roster, that's Israel Aldear Loera, so maybe a number wrong because instead of 297, he's actually 298 as the left center back. That's why his name didn't match up with his roster earlier. It's a different number, but I digress. Little tug of the jersey as they compete for that ball. A little sliding challenge in the middle of the field by Ramses Alvarez, and La Roca are on the early front foot here. Cobillas, a shot, flashes across the goal, but wide of Gomez, the Tigres goalkeeper. That's two chances already trying to get into the Mexican box.
Yeah, and in quick transition as well, and good pick out there. Ramsey Alvarez with a really nice, strong challenge in the middle to get the La Roca team going that direction. I remember a couple of years ago watching La Roca, thinking, how well organized and how well coached they are. So watch for that today. Structure in terms of the press, which you see right there, creating a turnover.
Good step up on the near side, brought down by Patrick Stevenson. Carlos Nieto, number 7, got a touch there, striker, but was going deep into the midfield to find that ball. Taken away by Alberto Pezet. He's going to play the top of the line for Tigres. On the left side, Luis Ibarra. And La Roca get it back with Luke Lovelady. Now Bridger Lucas. Easy to pick him out with his bleach blonde hair. And a giveaway and a chance for Tigres to step forward. A good sliding challenge by Lovelady as he denied Diego Ramirez trying to come forward. He and Eric De La Cruz are the two attacking midfielders that are playing as sort of the dueling eights. I say attacking midfielders, it's probably not in the classic 10 sense. That's Kilgore. That's taken away, and Tigres trying to get some possession in the attacking zone. Alvarado, wearing 154, that's Pavel Alvarado. He will be the holding midfielder of this formation for Tigres. Miguel Sandoval takes a little bit of a kick there. That's going to be an early free kick and a warning for J.J. Cubillas.
Well, Cubillas nowhere near the ball in that case. I'm surprised he didn't get a little bit more of a talking to from the English referee tonight. By the way, Emily Hislop got a lot of experience in Women's Super League. We know the Dallas Cup has that reputation, long time, and well-earned reputation for having really good officiating. The other day in the Super Group Final, we saw some CONCACAF level referees, but also some FIFAs.
Here's Loera. His pass forward couldn't connect with Pizzette. Good defending by Kanyamar. Wins the ball, and now forward they go. Ibarra turns to the outside for Pizzette. His cross was blocked. There was a flag up anyway, and Tigres was offside. It wouldn't have mattered.
Oh, and Tigres not having a whole lot of possession yet, but this team can score. Look at these scores as they went through group play and then elimination games. 6-0, 6-2, 5-1, 3-0, and then 4-0. That was just yesterday in the semifinal.
The only match, well, they conceded in 2 of their 5 matches, but they haven't in the last 2 as they blanked the FC Dallas ECNL Reds Club in their 4th game, and then a Hawaiian team 4-0 on Saturday to reach the final.
But then speaking of blanks, look at the other side. So what kind of a matchup, great matchup do we have offense against defense? Here we go, Owen.
Cutting forward was Carlos Morales, but it was defended by Quinn Bailey.
So La Roca goes through 4 matches until yesterday's semifinal without conceding a goal. So 4 clean sheets, and then yesterday they beat the team out of Canada, St. Laurent, 2-1.
Running through the middle here is Patrick Stevenson. Takes a left-footed effort from distance. And that's, I believe, the first shot on goal or shot attempt. It was not on target, but for either team in the match coming in the 6th minute. But yeah, they have not wasted any time, Steve, at all.
Yeah, no real threat there. Most of the game played in the midfield so far, but you sort of like to see as one player breaks free just a little bit. Stevenson went ahead and had a nice little go. No threat for the goalkeeper, Gomez.
Not quite the pace we saw from Fabiano on Friday afternoon. The Botafogo attacking midfielder who shot from 30 and 40 yards out almost routinely in the loss to FC Dallas in the Super Group semifinal. We'll see them at the end of the day today.
They like their long shot.
There's a long ball forward now. Tigres, too much weight on that one. As the pass out of the middle, I believe that was from Eric De La Cruz. Always fun to pick up the traditional triple-digit numbers that the Liga MX clubs like to employ for their academies. Sometimes that 3rd digit doesn't show as quickly because of how narrow they can be. More of a broadcaster's problem than anybody else. As that one goes out of play, and it'll be a throw for La Roca as Lovelady heaves it down the right side. Little flick forward by Nieto. Oh, and then a high boot there. Referee let it go as Bridger Lucas won the header, but saw a foot near his face, and now we're going to get an early yellow card. Wow. 8th minute, and then a yellow picked up for La Roca.
Morales, Rafael Morales.
Number 6, the other holding midfielder alongside Bridger Lucas. And that was a no-nonsense decision by the referee early to go to the pocket.
Morales, if you reach out, grab a jersey and let it go, usually the referees are going to let it go. But he reached out, latched on, and just refused to let go. And clearly it's tactical and no play on the ball, so it's hard to disagree there with. Yeah,
I'm not saying decision. I have a problem with it. There's no doubt a tactical foul is just that. Here's a long shot off the free kick, and it goes wide to the left. It's just usually a bit of a noticeable moment if you're going to a tactical foul inside the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. And you know, Morales had some cover behind him. I'm not sure he needed to go to that right away.
Crossing ball toward the far side, was looking for Carlos Morales. Remember, there's two. Carlos Morales is the right winger wearing 306 for Tigres, and Rafael Morales wearing number 6, one of the holding midfielders for La Roca. And it was Diego Ramirez who took that free kick.
These players, as youth players, are at such a high level, it's easy to forget. Here you go.
Oh, there's a collision and a call. La Roca wanted some redemption here. Referee says no, as Carlos Nieto, their attacker, gets himself back on his feet. She was in good position, Emily Heaslip.
Yeah, I thought Nieto was in good position there too. But I guess it was adjudged to be just a coming together.
Little flick by Stevenson. Now there's a ball on the field as that shot went wide. Second attempt belonging to the Utah side. And they quickly got the second ball off. It was thrown from the stands as the ball went out of play and then just got heaved out to midfield. Fortunately, it didn't get into the middle of the action in the Tigres end. Here's Ibarra. Plays it to the overlapping run from Kanyamar, but he took a deflection. It will be a Tigres throw. I've seen more than a couple of pairs of very festive bunny ears from some of the folks here at the Dallas Cup, enjoying this Easter Sunday. We hope you are, wherever you're tuning in.
And of course, if you're not familiar with Dallas Cup tradition, they always have built a tournament around Easter. Makes it a little bit easier for some of the teams to travel in as working around the holiday.
Well, it can be said from somebody who spends a lot of the weekends doing youth sports, nothing else going on this weekend because of that, of the holiday. So maybe you don't have as many scheduling conflicts. And when I say nothing else going on, I'm strictly speaking about other kids' sporting events.
Sure.
Tigres switches the ball. Ramirez. That was headed away by Cubillas. Back through the middle again. Seen Diego Ramirez pop up on the ball a couple of times. Here he is trying to shield against Morales, and it will be a Tigres throw here as Miguel Sandoval, the right back, comes forward to get in on the action. Interesting to see Alberto Pizzet, their striker, come way out to try to get into the game here. Playing very much as a false 9, at least to start. Little touch from Alvarado, and it's defended away. Tigres trying to chip away at this La Roca back line. Pass broken up. Tigres regained possession. Quick switch of play. Alvarado out to the left side here. Ibarra coming up from the left back. Kanyamar. Alvarado again. And he'll switch it through the middle to Santana. Stepping forward. Orlando Santana. De La Cruz. Sandoval getting forward again. Cuts back on his left foot. Didn't have anywhere to go, so he'll play it back. And Alvarado, who is the pivot point, switches over to the near side for Kanyamar. Now up to Ibarra. Trying to get past Lovelady. Defends enough to keep him from getting forward. A little bit of hands up there. The cross coming in. Open player and a header off the crossbar. Tigres becomes maybe a few inches away from scoring the opening goal, and it really should have been on target as there was no defender within 3 or 4 yards of that play. Now some words between the striker and the goalkeeper as Max Kendall, the goalie for La Roca, could do nothing but hope for his crossbar to save him out on this one.
Yeah, it's a nice header. You just would have liked to have seen him aim for the goal line, headed down. De La Cruz trying to just pick out that back corner, loop it over the goalkeeper, but he's so close. I think if he just heads it down, I think he's probably got a 1-0 lead for his team.
I mean, it's absolutely the best scoring opportunity we've seen. Coming in the 13th minute as Eric De La Cruz was unmarked.
Well, Tigres starting to take control of the game, and what I'm seeing, Owen, is that they're just a little bit more interested than La Roca at sending numbers forward. Again, you see the goal-scoring total, so that's not a big surprise. La Roca a little bit more interested in sitting in and playing a little bit more defensively.
Here's a chance and a giveaway as Ibarra was trying to lay one off. It was picked off and cleared. But you're right, the possession is starting to grow for Tigres. They didn't have much of the ball in the first couple of minutes, but I'd say 7-8 minutes now of this first 14, the ball's been on the feet of the Mexican club.
Well, they just get so many numbers forward.
Foul here on Nieto, who tried to swim his way past Loera.
That cross a moment ago that ends in the header off the crossbar, that's really all about Ibarra and Cañamar working up the left side in combination. Cañamar is the left back. So, again, they're getting the numbers forward. It gets hard to deal with. So you start sending people out to prevent the cross, and it's difficult to mark all the numbers inside the penalty area.
Lucas. Lovelady give the ball away, and now a chance to run forward for Pizzette. He plays it into space. Good ball. Has a man running on. Keeper charges. He's rounded, and it's shot wide. A glorious opportunity for Tigres, and it is wasted by Carlos Morales, who cannot believe he didn't put them up 1-0.
I think La Roca's just got to settle in a little bit. Lovelady giving the ball away. Tigres turning it into really quick possession. And the key there is in transition, Tigres recognizes the moment, starts getting players forward a little bit quicker than La Roca reacts defensively. And what you end up with is that one-on-one and you're absolutely right. It's La Roca right now being let off the hook. Got to tighten it up defensively.
That's two glorious chances for Tigres in quick succession. And now La Roca seem even more unsettled as the ball comes across. Well done by Ibarra to bring that one down. He's going toward the box, a little bit of a jersey tug, not enough to get the attention of the referee. And a chance for a counterattack. Stevenson just ran out of options as he knocked it into the back or the feet of the defender, Loera.
Yeah, I think the referee saw the jersey pull, but rightly played advantage.
Alvarez dispossessed. Little turn by Pizzette. And you can see the confidence growing for Tigres here. As they go again, Ibarra. Pizzette turns, has space. Now to the left, Ramirez cuts it back. Ibarra was running on. It just didn't quite make it there, but only cleared as far as Alvarado. Tigres can try again. Not only are they finding their players, but they're finding players to have time to actually turn and take a look.
Yeah, Pizzette and De La Cruz just really picking out good spots in there.
Can La Roca string a couple of touches together? And yes, they do. Now they'll break back over midfield. Here's Stevenson out to the right. His pass was deflected away as Alvarado got a foot in. It was trying to find Cubillas. And once again, a gap starting to form between the attackers and the defenders for La Roca. Sandoval gets it up the far left side of our perspective, right wing for them. Here's Sandoval again. Steps forward, look, nobody pressuring the ball at all. As he switches across for Cañamar, almost feels like La Roca's trying to catch their breath, maybe get their footing on a defensive side because they're conceding just about everything but their penalty area. Little flick forward by Ramirez, blocked, and just smashed up the field by Walt Kilgore, who was just trying to get anywhere but here, defensive mentality. Good hold-up play by Nieto. His layoff, though, couldn't find Alvarez. And Sandoval will play it up to the right wing. And again, Tigres, lots of open space through the midfield. They slow it down. Nieto showing a lot of desire to chase here by himself at the top of the formation. They go all the way back to Gomez. Turn by Pizzette. Good defensive play by Lucas. And now he has a little bit of room. You can quickly notice, though, Steve, that while LaRocca is getting chances on the counter, there aren't many options going forward, where when Tigres gets the ball in the attack, they seem to have runners.
Well, numbers. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, before you have the runners, you got to get the numbers. And you know, if that's LaRocca's style, you know, what I'm noticing is that they attack with 4, maybe the 5th one joins. Everybody else is just ready to defend.
Another turn. Boy, all kinds of space here for Ramirez, as Ramirez will ping it out to the left for Ibarra. Takes a touch. Going wide on Lovelady. Doesn't hit the cross. Lovelady defending well, sliding, staying, getting back to his feet. Here's a quick shot and a save. A sprawling effort by Max Candle, and he denies a very strong shot from the left side of the box to keep this one 0-0.
Yeah, first corner kick in the match goes to Tigres. 5 shots now for Tigres, and almost all of them dangerous. Nice job there, a little chop back, get the ball to his left foot. In the end, pretty good save there by goalkeeper Max Candel.
They'll play it short, and now a cross in, and that one did not instill a lot of confidence in the attackers for the Tigres. A disgusted wave of the hand by one. But a foul called on Nieto, and a quick free kick. Does Tigres want to go short? They thought about it, Ramirez, but now he's going to say, no, let's get this one in. They have half of their attackers up front anyway.
Nieto's going to have such a hard time up there all day. So isolated.
Good header away. That was Quinn Bailey who rose up to head that and keep it, but only is so far. Back in. There's the Pizzette, and his shot goes off the outside of the netting. Never really looked like it was going to test Candle's goal. But boy, we are seeing one-way traffic here with the rare foray of a counter for LaRocca.
Yeah, and again, Nieto's going to be isolated up there. He's going to have to battle two center backs all by himself.
Bailey, who won that header moments ago, gets the ball. He's holding his head, Steve. I don't think he's feeling the best at the moment after clearing that one away. I don't know if he took it was from the header or if there was another coming together later, but he was still rubbing the side of his head as he got that pass from his goalkeeper, who clearly didn't notice that he was in any sort of discomfort. Running forward, Stevenson plays it out wide to the right. Carlos Nieto running. Defended, and a foul. Just a little bit of a nudge into the back there against Santana.
You know, I know these are young men, young legs, but they get tired, and you just wonder if playing more close matches, including, you know, a semifinal just yesterday, I think you're right to pick it out already, that it looks like LaRocca, they just look a little tired already, and you wonder if all these blowout games for Tigres maybe allowed them to use a little bit more of their depth.
It's interesting you bring that up. You know, a 0-0 draw against the Dallas Texans in the group. They did beat Mississauga from Canada pretty comfortably, but and as well as the team from Miami, Strikers Elite, but that 2-0 against FC Dallas, ECNL White, the 2-1 against Saint Laurent. I'm sure those weren't runaways where you're rotating half your squad.
Right.
Ibarra turns, lost it. Cubillas trying to get involved in the game, can't do it. And again, it took a sliding challenge from Bailey to turn this one back to LaRocca. But they do have a very spirited striker, and combination with Stevenson and Nieto. Cubillas hasn't really been able to get his influence on the match so far. Loses it again in possession. Now Ramirez, looking very comfortable in the midfield.
Yeah, but you see it there as Cubillas loses the ball. It just turns, and as they lose the ball up front, the players aren't really tracking back very quickly, and I just think that's a little bit of fatigue.
Kanyamar. Nice little flick forward. Ibarra running on the back line again. Cross cleared away. That's the third action that we've seen defensively from Quinn Bailey in the matter of minutes. And now he yells to bring his lines up as 3 or 4 players for Tigres in an offside position. They have time to get back on, but they are, you mentioned numbers, Steve. They are sending players forward here.
Yeah, and it's difficult to deal with. You as a member of a back four, the line of the back four, you know, you're just occupied with one person, and then somebody else starts running through, and you got to make the quick switch or communicate, and it gets tough.
Pizzette, Ramirez through the middle, out to the right. That's Carlos Morales, overlapping run from Miguel Sandoval, but instead he goes through the middle to Ramirez, has space. Diego Ramirez almost slid it through. That was Morales again making the run.
And Quinn Bailey again, very busy right now.
That left center back for La Roca. But they might, on the flip side of looking like there may be some fatigue in the legs, they might be rather comfortable at playing in this sort of low block defensive shell.
I think they're comfortable playing it, but maybe not comfortable in the moment. Because,
that's a good point.
Because Tigres has not only got a lot of numbers forward, they got a lot of talent there. They're finding spots just like that.
They're finding Diego Ramirez almost at will here, and he seems to be the one pulling the strings in the attack. He plays it out to the right, overlapping run. Sandoval cuts it back onto the left foot, top of the box, and that one lashes wide. But that one was a real sign of intent as they continue, Tigres, to get numbers into the La Roca penalty area.
I think if you're La Roca right now, what you really sort of hope and maybe what you're counting on is that maybe a little bit of frustration starts setting in a little bit for Tigres because they are used to scoring a lot of goals. Right now, that's the hope for La Roca. And as far as Tigres goes, they just have to keep doing what they're doing.
Here's the cut back to Ramirez, top of the box, about 24 yards out. He takes a shot, and that one's just over the crossbar. Had Max Kendall at full stretch to cover. It was not on target, but he did miss by much.
And that's the one that you are a little bit more comfortable with. If you can keep Tigres shooting at 22, 24 yards and trust your goalkeeper, you're doing a little bit better at least. You see him now, he's got a little bit too much room there.
Boy, he had time to shoot that, didn't he?
Yeah, carves out a little bit of space for himself.
'26 minute. Here in the first of 4 finals.
Yeah, several good chances there for Tigres out of Monterrey. It's got our producer excited. We can still hear him back there talking about all the chances.
A lot of communication going on.
Yep.
Ramirez plays the ball across. It's defended well. And now Alvarez will knock it back to, we haven't said the name Sammy Rodas much today, the left back for La Roca, but he got a touch there. Now Kilgore.
Haven't said the name Luis Gomez very much anymore. That's the Tigres goalkeeper, loneliest man in the stadium right now.
Luis Patricio Gomez has the ball on his foot maybe once or twice so far today, but
yeah, that one
save for a couple early shots, right?
Yeah, I had two early shots.
I had Alvarez in the 10th minute, Stevenson in the 7th. Neither one tested Gomez.
So La Roca keeping a little bit of possession here. They've been under siege, so you know that must feel good.
Now a chance to run forward. Boy, Cubillas, who isn't just staying on the left, he likes to kind of float through the middle. He had Stevenson making the run, couldn't make the connection, and now Tigres will have another opportunity to get forward. Ibarra cuts it back. De La Cruz. Boy, major gap opening up as La Roca tries to get back. Remember, we were watching Sao Paulo on Friday where they got 8 guys, 2 lines of 4 back as quickly as you could blink your eye. It was a really impressive show of determined defense.
100%, but again, I just go back to La Roca players just look a little worn out. Yeah, and right there you see, grabbing the jersey. That's Ramses Alvarez. A minute ago we saw Morales sort of try to grab a jersey as somebody went by, and he's already carrying a yellow card. So when you start grabbing jerseys and doing things like that, that is a sign of fatigue. And, we're only a half hour into this one. They've got a full hour to go.
And we're going to get our first substitute. It will be number 23, Carter Archuleta, who is going to come in. And Rafael Morales, who picked up the yellow card in the 8th minute, will be the first guy out here in the 29th minute. Pass in, Ramirez. Blocked. Now Ramirez again, and this one just goes wide. Actually sends a water bottle flying. But he is not on target, but has been very threatening for Tigres.
Pretty clever little corner, little set piece routine work there. Ends in a shot, but, it's the only thing that Tigres hasn't done well today. Just haven't quite got their shooting boots on. Otherwise, finding good spots, commitment and attack. Really good in the counter press that we see right there. Just created another turnover. Really good stuff from Tigres. Just haven't quite been good enough inside the penalty area just yet. But you just feel like the goal is coming, Owen.
Here's Dybala. Out to the left side for Kanyamar. He'll ping it into the box. Headed away. Once again, Bailey trying to patrol aerially for La Roca. And a little bit of a kick there. Ooh, interesting. The Tigres player drew the foul, but then showed a little frustration. He's got to show some composure that the whistle blows and let the referee handle that, because any sort of lash out could instantly earn you a card.
I don't disagree, but I also think the English referee, Emily Hislop, she's got to, take a little bit more control herself, because that's when players get frustrated, when they feel like the referee isn't doing it.
Pizzette against Kilgore. Heck of an effort, but he ran out of room, and it'll be a goal kick. Was asking for a lot. Alberto Pizzette trying to get away from two defenders in that corner, but showing a real desire to try to keep running. So Archuleta is in, number 23, as he replaced Rafael Morales, who was on an early yellow card. But I think we've mentioned it a couple times already. The number of matches played in this week and the time spent may also have been a factor. Sandoval. Back through Alvarado. A little hesitance on the pass. Alvarado hasn't played much wrong, but that one forced a tough touch. Stevenson running after the loose ball. Kanyamar got there first with Ibarra. Ibarra's pass forward to no one, and it'll be cleared away. A little flick by Cubillas, and now Stevenson could run, trying to get past Loera down the right side. Stevenson toward the end line, cut back. It was blocked first by Loera and then helped out by Santana. Good team defending from Tigres. Then a ball given away. A little loose pass from Kanyamar. And La Roca gifts it right back.
Yeah, with all the numbers Tigres gets forward, but again, look how quickly they get back on defense, and pretty quickly they're completely outnumbering the two or maybe a third attacker running in, but that time La Roca just had two on the run, and it gets about 6 defenders.
And it's going to run out of room again. Pizzette trying to track it down the one on the other side. He's been all over the place, shown, again, not playing as a classic number 9, but more like that false 9 where he just runs all over the place. But haven't seen him slow down in the first 30 minutes. So,
yeah, and I see a lot of interchange up there with the Tigres attackers. And, again, that's something else that makes it difficult to track.
And Cubillas wasn't happy with that ball forward, wanted something he could get on the end of. You are starting to see here in the 33rd minute some players showing some frustration, some body language, gesticulations that maybe show some annoyance with the fact that they haven't had much of the ball here in the first half from LaRocca.
Yeah, but that's when you say, you know, they're comfortable defending. Yeah, I think.
Ibarra in the box. Lays it back off Ramirez. Side foot and again. Cannot test Kendall in goal. But the pile of chances.
Well, Ramirez himself, he finding really good spots. It just can't quite direct him on frame. That's got to be 3, maybe 4 for him.
I've got 4 by my count. He did force 1 save by Kendall, and it was a good one, but he's missed 3 wide. That one even went to the side foot to try to control it and still couldn't put it between the posts. Alvarez brings it down through midfield. Lovelady, good ball forward. Here's Cubillas getting a chance to run at the back line. J.J. Cubillas cuts back on his left foot, lines it up, and then lashes it wildly to the left. You could see what he wanted to do, but he never got his foot around the ball. And again, Luis Patricio Gomez, only action is to go get another ball for a goal kick.
Yeah, Cubillas doing such a good job there, beating the defender one-on-one down in the right corner, dribbling across, evading a couple of more defensive attempts, and then he just sort of, as he's getting closed down, he can't wrap his left foot around it quite completely, but it looked like for a second he'd found a good shooting spot. Just, you know, you sort of run out of gas a little bit and you can't quite complete the final action.
Giveaway, sliding challenge. Stevenson gets on the end of that. And he takes it from distance. And oh, what a fantastic save by Gomez. Flying to his left, got the left hand out and parried it around the post. He hasn't had to make a save for 34 minutes and change, and then suddenly came up with an absolutely stunning save.
Yeah, and that shot comes at about every bit of 30 yards there, Owen. And I think it's got the upper right corner sided. Nice save there. Nice save, for, as you said, from a goalkeeper that just has been standing around and hasn't had much to do. So mark that one down, 36th minute.
Stevenson with an absolutely stunning shot and an equally spectacular save by Gomez. It'll be a corner kick for Ramses Alvarez and a chance to get the big guys forward. They haven't been much. Cubillas gets the header up, but he's underneath it. Didn't time it well, and Gomez comfortably claims that one in the end. And well, it was one of those things. If LaRocca could find a way maybe to get a set piece or two, they could be dangerous, or even just getting a guy like Patrick Stevenson of a half second to shoot. He's on it again. Cubillas, again running on his left. This time slashes it wide to the right, but this is more that we've seen from LaRocca than for much of the first half.
Well, I think Cubillas has come alive up there. You know, he started on the left. It looks like he's playing centrally now. He and Nieto have been shifting, have been interchanging a little bit, but looks like Cubillas is going to play as the higher striker now, and he's starting to really get problems. There's another turnover.
Here is Nieto. Cuts back on his right, defended by Alvarado, but well, they were benefited. That would look more like a clear than a pass, but his right winger, Carlos Morales, won the 50-50, and they'll get possession. Just a couple of actions for LaRocca have just unbalanced this a bit after it was all Tigres for the better part of the half an hour.
Well, it's just going to be an individual effort that opens things up for LaRocca because they're not going to put the numbers forward, but another good step up there and tackle still in the midfield by Bridger Lucas.
Lucas has the ball out to the right. Stevenson, who's produced their best scoring opportunity so far and by far the best save from an otherwise untested Tigres goalkeeper Gomez. And that one deflected. The LaRocca right back, Lovelady, thought that he maybe got a touch.
No, he thought he was.
I thought he was fouled, right, is what I was saying. Got a touch from Kanyamar.
He did. The referee just missed that one.
And was sort of put off by that. Instead, it was just a throw. Ibarra heads it. Alvarez. For a while, Alvarez seemed to be doing nothing but chasing in the midfield. Now he's starting to make some plays. for the Utah side. But then a giveaway. Now numbers moving forward for Tigres. De La Cruz. Sandoval getting forward. Out wide for Morales.
Oh, and LaRocca, well coached, well drilled. But the one thing I'm seeing here, Nieto's been guilty of it a couple of times. So has Cubillas. As they get the attack moving forward, their runs are just straight. And if they can just curl their runs a little bit and provide a little bit of an angle, create an angle, you know.
A giveaway, a sliding challenge by Bailey, and he took it off the feet of Pizzette, who was lining up what looked like a pretty dangerous shot. Stevenson pops one up, couldn't have it drop to Cubillas. Good read by Santana to come across and make sure that the LaRocca forward didn't get on the end of that for a run. Here he is again, Cubillas. Loera with a really good step in. They haven't been overly tested, Aldair, Loera, and Orlando Santana, but they've looked good when they've had to defend. Stevenson out to the right. Kanyamar steps up. Pass a little off of Cubillas, but he's able to stretch it. Couldn't connect with Kilgore, who the center back getting far forward. Maybe LaRocca starting to venture out of their shape a little bit just to see if they can mess with the comfort level for Tigres. That goes out for a throw. Throw back in, flick forward by Stevenson. Cubillas forced out by Loera. That will be a throw for Tigres.
But you see there what LaRocca will depend on here. It's just going to be beating a defender one-on-one to create something.
Turn by Alvarez. Cubillas, heavy touch. He's going to chase after it. He's a dynamic player, J.J. Cubillas. He certainly draws a lot of attention with his style of play. He's a little bit rough around the edges at times with his first touch. Lucas shrugs off the foul. Play on, says the referee. And then he gets taken down, and that's going to be a call against Santana. And a free kick, about 32, 34 yards, maybe 33.
Yeah, dead center, too.
And we talked about a possibility of a set piece. Well, in the last 5 minutes, LaRocca has definitely grown in this match.
Look at Cubillas there with that breathing heavy, hands on knees. Just doing everything you can. It's tough out there.
So lining this one up. I think it's closer to 32 now where they place the ball. The cut of the grass from our angle, you can't see it from this camera angle, is about 2 yards. There it is. So that change in the mowing line is about 30 yards. So a couple yards behind that. Cubillas standing over this one. If he wants to go with his left foot, tough for the goalkeeper to decide which side is he going to try to defend. He's going to go slightly left of center. The shot goes up and over and well wide from Ramses Alvarez. Didn't really test Gomez in the goal on that one.
No, I didn't, and it's unfortunate for LaRocca, good for Tigres, but I think for LaRocca, maybe just as important is just that it ate up about a minute off the clock. They've got 3 minutes plus whatever small amount of stoppage time. I think they probably appreciated the breather.
Ibarra. Quick turn. Here comes Tigres again. Ramirez out to the right. Morales. He has De La Cruz in the middle if he wants to. Getting back and defending is Nieto. And a good turn. Archuleta. He's the substitute that came on earlier in the half at the 29th minute. Makes a long run down that left side. Nobody with him. He hits a late ball. Cubillas making the run, and he almost got there. Boy, Archuleta with 3 defenders around him found a way to get that cross away. And then Cubillas just sneaking behind the center back.
Yeah, as he hit the cross, I didn't really think that there was going to be much of a threat. But you're right, Cubillas making that little back shoulder run. Just about got there, didn't he?
Loera plays it long. Tigres' ability to win that ball with some sort of distance. They haven't had to play through the middle lately. Flag is up for an offside against Cabillas. And Loera has come out of his boot. A quick opportunity to adjust his footwear.
Really interesting because I thought La Roca starts looking tired about the 10th minute. I think Tigres started looking tired around the 30th because this game really changed around right at the half-hour mark.
Boy, we have a lot to talk about for a 0-0 game. Defended by Kilgore. Sends it up the right side. Brought down by Diego Ramirez, who himself could have had a couple of goals. De La Cruz out to the right. Morales. Now Sandoval. His cross. Pops up in the air. Knocked away by Lovelady. But they can't clear their lines. Nieto. Ibarra. His pass blocked. They have consistently attacked the left wing, attacking the right side of the defense for La Roca. Luke Lovelady has been busy, but he's done well.
No, you're right. Ibarra and Kanyamar creating a lot of problems up that side. Morales sort of tilting over there as well.
Lovelady's going to get the throw here. We've already had, let's see, a yellow card and one substitution. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a couple of minutes of stoppage time announced. A lot of times there'll be a lot less in the opening half than the second half, but we'll see as the fourth official, maybe in about a minute, lets us know. Interestingly enough, we have about 15 seconds before the 45, and now she goes to the board. Checking her watch.
I think
fourth official, Melissa Bergen.
The field mics are picking up, some fans in the stands here at Toyota Stadium. I think a couple of people down there have forgotten this is a youth soccer tournament. It's riding the referee pretty hard here. 1 minute of stoppage time, which is a little light considering the actions we mentioned, but maybe not. Pizzette out to the right side for Sandoval. Cleared away by Lovelady. And that one will go out to midfield. To your point, I've heard him too. I almost wonder if because of as Cubillas wins the battle and now has a man if he wants to cross. Stevenson, here's the ball. It's defended well in the end. When you don't have 20,000, you sometimes hear those individual shouts that does sound as though you're dealing with something a little higher than 16-year-olds. Here's the throw in. Bouncing ball is dropped. And a chance late. Alvarez blocked. Boy, that just for a minute looked like the window was going to open for a late goal. Well, I know he was waiting for the ball to settle a little bit, but, sometimes you just got to hit out at it and hope because the opportunity closed pretty quickly there. But look, I think La Roca, as they talk about things at halftime, they've got to be happy that they're not down 0-0 and knowing also that over the last 10 or maybe 15 minutes, they played pretty evenly.
I would say so. A strong finish for the Utah side, but it's 0-0 after the first 45 in the boys U17 final here at the 2024 Dallas Cup. Don't go away.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain... And then there's the sauce that just gives you a little bit of... And the cheese, it's the exact right amount of... It's almost too hard to put it into... Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger. Just like you like it. She said she wasn't hungry. She only wanted a bite. But this isn't just a patty melt. This is a Whataburger patty melt, the all-time favorite, with 2 all-beef patties, Monterey Jack, grilled onions, and creamy pepper sauce. So 1 bite became 2, and 2 became mine. Just a bite, huh? Mark that one down as a lesson learned. The Whataburger patty melt, just like you like it.
At CC's Pizza, dreams come true. But the best part of CC's is you, and you, and you.
Me?
Keep up, Doc. Dive right into my wondrous buffet. When it comes to pizza, you know that I slay. These desserts were made for stacking, like these games were made for whacking. Uh-oh, see ya. The reviews are in, the critics are raving, even the super specific pregnancy craving. So come feed the band and pull up a chair. CC's, the best pizza value anywhere.
Halftime here at Toyota Stadium in the boys U17 final of the 2024 Dallas Cup. Owen Newkirk alongside Steve Davis. 0-0 at halftime as the Dallas Cup is brought to you by Coca-Cola, by the Dallas Tourism Public Improvement District, by Puma, as it is a 0-0 halftime score between La Roca and Tigres. It's also brought to you by the Dallas Sports Commission. The entire week, it's been a busy Dallas Cup slate of games throughout the DFW area, and here's a little look of what we've had to enjoy so far.
Welcome, world, to my hometown in the 2024 Dallas Cup. I'm Weston McKinney from the U.S. Men's National Team. I'm very excited to be joining the Puma family, and I'm wishing you guys all the best of luck in this tournament. Hopefully you guys form a lot of connections with many different cultures and people. And make sure you guys stop by Soccer Corner's tent to pick up the latest Dallas Cup Puma gear. See you guys.
I honestly think
CC's pizza dreams come true. But the best part of CC's is you. And you. And you.
Me?
Keep up, Doc. Dive right into my wondrous buffet. When it comes to pizza, you know that I slay. These desserts were made for stacking, like these games were made for whacking. Uh-oh, see ya! The reviews are in, the critics are raving, even the super specific pregnancy craving. So come feed the band and pull up a chair. CC's the best pizza value anywhere.
Can Billy come out to play?
Yes!
The all-new Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain... And then there's the sauce that just gives you a little bit of... And the cheese? It's the exact right amount of... It's almost too hard to put it into... Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger. Just like you like it. She said she wasn't hungry. She only wanted a bite. But this isn't just a patty melt. This is a Whataburger patty melt. The all-time favorite. With 2 all-beef patties, Monterey Jack, grilled onions, and creamy pepper sauce. So 1 bite became 2. And 2 became... mine. Just a bite, huh? Mark that one down as a lesson learned. The Whataburger patty melt. Just like you like it.
Halftime here at Toyota Stadium. First 45 minutes of the boys U19 final between La Roca and Tigres was an interesting seesaw battle, Steve, because it looked like for about 34 minutes that it was one-way traffic for Tigres.
if you've been in soccer long enough, you and I have, we've all seen the game where one team dominates, puts a lot of shots on target, in this case 9 in the first half for, I'm sorry, shots, not shots on target. 9 shots for Tigres. but doesn't score any of them, and it comes back to bite you. And after half an hour, it started sort of flowing the other way. La Roca found their attack a little bit. They started finding, I thought Cabillas changed positions, went more central. He started making things happen, and at the end of the half, it's 9-7 in favor of shots for Tigres, but it wasn't as dominant as it was over the first 30 minutes.
Your very astute distinction between shots and shots on target are the story of the half, because De La Cruz and Morales each had open chances but didn't test the goalkeeper. One crossbar and one miss. That's the difference. 0-0, second half on the way here at the Dallas Cup.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain... And then there's the sauce that just gives you a little bit of... And the cheese? It's the exact right amount of... It's almost too hard to put it into... Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Can Billy come out to play?
Yes! Woohoo!
The all-new Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
We are live from Toyota Stadium in Frisco, where the second half of the boys U17 final of the 2024 Dallas Cup is about to get going, as Tigres is making their way back onto the field now. La Roca already out there. As you can see, they're huddling up. Steve, we had a brief moment to converse about this at halftime, but it was the chances missed by Eric De La Cruz, Carlos Morales, crossbar from De La Cruz. Morales rounded goalkeeper Max Candle and missed an open goal. Two chances within a couple of minutes, 13th minute and 15th minute, and then a slew of chances for Diego Ramirez, all off target, save for one save by Candle. They have to find a way to put it inside that 24 square foot frame, and that would make a huge difference.
Yeah, you know, it starts with finding those good positions, and I thought Morales, Ramirez, Pizzette, De La Cruz even, I thought they all kept finding good positions in there, good interchange, good movement, creating a lot of confusion there, sowing that confusion on the back four for La Roca. But in the end, you still got to have that quality. You still got to be able to beat the goalkeeper, get it on frame, beat the goalkeeper. You picked it out how it was mostly a left-sided attack for Tigres through Ibarra and Canyamar coming up from his outside back position. So, you know, presumably La Roca has talked about that a little bit. I'm interested to see how the second half is going to play out, because I feel like we saw two completely different games there in the first half.
For those that are just joining us, talk about the tactical or the positional shift that we saw from La Roca that appears to be holding steady, because that changed with about 10 minutes to go in the first half really did seem to make a difference.
And I think what happened, though, Carlos Nieto was started as the high striker, and he's just isolated up there, so there's so much for him to do and battling those center backs. Well, he switches with Cabillas at about 30 minutes, and now he lets Cabillas sort of battle with those center backs, because, look, it's exhausting to do that. So maybe Nieto just got a little tired. I thought he was doing okay at it, but Cabillas was better at it.
We have two substitutes at halftime. So Semi Rodas, who we barely mentioned at the left back, is out, and Cale Tillman is on for La Roca. And for Tigres, number 305, Jonathan Menendez, replaces Alberto Pizzet, who we talked about as part of that attacking front 3 or 4 that was doing, he did a lot of running, Steve, but maybe a question of fatigue after 45 minutes.
No, you know, both of these teams come in having played 5 games over the last 7 days. And you and I have both talked about, as we've done these finals over the years, how just because a player doesn't start, it doesn't mean he's not a starter.
Yeah, they because of the number of games in a short window, there's a lot of rotation at times. Here's a ball in and a glancing header wide, but an early attack from Tigres. Wonder if they had that conversation at halftime of, we were all over these guys for much of the first half. Why don't we turn it up and see if we can get that goal, that breakthrough early in the second half?
Yeah, so what we're talking about a second ago is that sometimes these subs come in these finals and they're actually starters that just were given a little bit of rest.
Another chance down the right side early. Morales in, header. Ramirez again, he's been all over the place, but he has not put one on target in a bit. But he is clearly one of their focal points, Diego Ramirez, playing in the attacking side of midfield. Playing all the way back by Sandoval. Now they switch it around to the left. Here's Kanyamar. Menendez is near, was looking for a pass. It was defended well by La Roca. There is the substitute for Tigres. And for those of you not following along from the beginning, La Roca actually made a change in the first half as out comes Kendall. And Kendall gets the ball, settles everybody down. They actually took out one of their midfielders, Rafael Morales, who picked up an early yellow card. He was subbed off in the 29th minute, and Carter Archuleta, who wears number 23, and has the ball now, came on. He'll play it forward. Nieto, long run. Good angle defensively by Orlando Santana. And it'll be smashed by the goalkeeper up the field. Again, Luis Patricio Gomez, very little to do until he had to make one of the most spectacular saves we've seen so far this week, denying Patrick Stevenson on a long shot with a brilliant diving left hand. That was by far La Roca's best scoring opportunity of the first half. That came in the 35th minute, and that really changed things after that, as we get a corner kick for La Roca. Their first so far?
I think so.
Sounds right. They obviously didn't have a lot of attacking third possession time in the opening half, but both of these teams trying to get that front foot here early in the second 45. There's the outswinging ball, high floater. Bailey got a head on it, didn't get it enough toward the goal. Another head down. And a little overhead kick attempt from Stevenson, and this time a pretty comfortable save from Gomez in the end.
I think I might have missed one corner kick in the first half, so unofficially we'll mark that one down as La Roca's second corner kick.
Well, we're the keeper of the stats today, so here's Gomez.
Yes, no opt to board in front of us on this one.
Unfortunately. Oh, a crunching challenge. Seems as though the Tigres defender got the worst of that. He's still down.
He got a knee to the head there.
The referee stops play to get some attention as all of the substitutes for Tigres have left their technical area. Are going to head down to do a warm-up. And I believe that was Aldair Loera. And he looks like he's still down.
Yeah, Loera.
The trainer coming out now.
Loera, one of the center backs, left side of center back, Santana. Both of them having a hard time right now dealing with Cubillas.
That was part of that collision. We didn't see the end of it. I think you're right. I think he got caught as Stevenson went up over the top.
Yeah, maybe gets hit in the head with the hip from Stevenson.
Stevenson had that bicycle kick attempt that, again, was a relatively easy save. But, boy, I can't say enough about that shot he had in the 35th minute where from about 30 yards out, he just lined one up, and it was going inside the right post, far post, because he was left of center when he took the shot. And Luis Patricio Gomez made an acrobatic save stretching out to his left. It looks like the Tigres defender is going to be okay. That is Loera, as he now is being escorted toward midfield, waiting for the referee to wave him back on. Play resumes here in the 52nd minute. Alvarez lost the ball, and now it's pinged up to the right side, but a little bit too much on it. He was looking for Carlos Morales.
Loera on the far side of the field, waved back on. Looks like he's okay.
Alvarez. Back to Kilgore. Now Bailey. Something we haven't seen a lot of if La Roca is trying to possess and build out of the back. They've usually tried to get forward rather quickly, sort of a counterattack sort of feel to it. But this...
Yeah, they want to play in a Cubillas or Nieto as a target. And both of those players pretty good at holding onto the ball and just being a problem just like that, even though they're surrounded by yellow shirts. Orange? Yellow? Orange?
Yeah. Dark, yeah, a little bit of a dark yellow. I don't know. I don't know if I'm the best as far as the authority on that.
Quinn Bailey really coming in hard on that challenge. I think he's been good on the back line for La Roca.
Will be a free kick here from about 40 yards out. And this is the substitute, Jonathan Menendez. Lining this one up to take.
You get the feeling, don't you, that the tempo was really slowed after about 30 minutes, and both teams okay with the slower tempo.
Long ball forward toward the back post, kept alive and headed down. Ibarra got a touch on it. And in the end, Candle able to hang on.
Well, again, Tigres doing a lot right between the 18s and just haven't had that little final bit of quality inside the 18 to finish these chances.
Menendez, long left-footed effort, had a lot of pace behind it, but always going wide. Looked like Kendall was there. And once again, Ramirez just trying to play the ball back, missed the net. Seems to be a cruel joke for the midfielder. Pass to Archuleta. Against Morales. And that one too hot to handle for Nieto. In the box, Ramirez. Last minute defending by Lucas. And then a foul against Tigres on Morales.
Excuse me, Owen. Ramirez doing such a good job there on that throw and getting inside the position on the defender, holding him off. And then again, just he finds such good spots and just hasn't been his day in and around goal, though.
Right before that free kick for Tigres, you were talking about the pace, and I just wonder if the first half was played at such a high pace that it's unsustainable for this group, considering the week they've had and the amount of effort they expended in the first half.
Sure, and also, you know, look, it's a final. They're excited. They're playing inside the professional stadium, and I remember I heard right away, 5 minutes in, the La Roca coach down there on the sideline saying, calm down, guys. You got this. Calm down. So, yeah, I think a lot of mental and physical energy being expended. Yeah, just some of that just on simple nervous energy.
They won their group, bracket E of the U17 division, finishing with 7 points in 3 matches. And then had to win 2 knockout games to get to this final.
Nice defending there.
As we talked about earlier, Tigres has not conceded since the group. They had a plus 14 goal differential in the 3 group games in bracket C. They won all 3, outscoring their opposition 17-3, and then it was 7-0 in the 2 knockout games on Friday and Saturday to reach the final. So, although La Roca has tested them, their defense and goalkeeper has not conceded for now over 200 minutes. Carlos Morales picked off. Archuleta stepped up. Or check that. That was Tillman. He's the substitute, the other substitute.
Yeah, but Archuleta's committed a couple of times in the last 3 or 4 minutes with really nice hard tackles, winning them clean.
The first half substitute playing at left back. It kind of switched because Archuleta was playing sort of a defensive midfield role, but now he's gone out left with Tillman coming into that 6. Here's a ball across. A glancing touch from Tigres, but not enough. Morales avoids the sliding challenge from Archuleta. Now a cross in with the left foot. Fades away from his attackers. Menendez. De La Cruz is in the box. Ball goes over the top. Ramirez, long run, back in, and it's in! And Tigres has the goal. What a back post run and cross by Diego Ramirez. And it's Eric De La Cruz that has given the opening goal to the Mexican side in the 58th minute.
So, Owen, we've talked all day about Tigres and how much pressure they put on you just with sheer numbers, getting so many numbers. Look at all the runners in the box right there. It's just difficult just to keep up with everybody. And actually, the marking isn't really bad there. It's just not quite good enough. And so as that ball gets headed back across, De La Cruz, good position on his defender, just able to reach the ball before the defender. It's,
what a run by...
Sometimes we say it, it's just math, a lot of numbers in there.
What a run by Diego Ramirez to track that cross to the back post. Nobody followed him. And to then not try to hit a sharp angle shot, but head it back across. And as you said, pretty good marking, but it's very difficult to defend the return ball back across on a header back. And De La Cruz did not miss this one. He had a glorious opportunity in the first half where his open header hit the crossbar. He didn't miss this one.
Yeah, well, we've talked about Ramirez and how he keeps finding good positions, but not quite being able to finish. Well, that time, I think he did the perfect thing. He didn't try to finish. He just knocked the ball right back across for his teammate, and it's turned into a 1-0 lead.
What will that do for La Roca? Ball forward by Casillas. Stevenson coming out is Gomez, makes the save. Flag is up, and it wouldn't have counted, but still Gomez had to make the save regardless. As you could see, Stevenson just didn't check his run. Cubillas saw that and still played it.
Yeah, it's a really nice little run, though, that he makes, finding the space, and that's what we talked about a while ago in terms of, creating angles, diagonal runs, curling runs, creating an angle for your teammate to pass, and that's exactly what he did there. Just got in a little bit early.
We have a player down for La Roca, and we're about to have another substitution here. And it was is it going to be Tillman?
Tillman?
Yeah, Tillman, who just came on at halftime, only making it about 15 minutes. I wonder if that's an injury because replacing him is number 16, Preston Lawson, the third sub. So that's the third sub for La Roca. Coming here in the 60th minute.
So now you wonder what the last half hour of this match will look like because La Roca has been sitting in. That's their style, but they're going to have to add some numbers now. Maybe not right away, but at some point they'll have to add a few more numbers to the attack because generally they attack with 4, maybe 5, maybe a 5th arriving.
Nieto out to the left. Alvarez. And he and Cubillas weren't on the same page. It's an interesting thought. Now, it clearly looked like Tillman, who hasn't been on the field very long, may have suffered a knock or some sort of injury, but it also could have an impact because of the fact that they conceded and now have to chase a goal.
Yeah. No, when he sat on the field, it definitely looked like an injury, either something to happen or maybe he's carrying that. Maybe that's why he doesn't start.
Like for like, Lawson's right here defending in that defensive midfield position. And that's maybe one of the benefits of having 6 substitutions is that you can give a player a shot, and if you have to bring him off, you have plenty. Morales. Looked like he had a turn. Bailey sliding, can't make the play. Second effort by Sandoval. Headed. Down. Ibarra. 2! Luis Ibarra doubles the lead for Tigres as the goals are starting to pour in. 2 in 4 minutes for the club from Mexico, and they double their advantage.
As that cross comes in from the right side, you thought maybe the moment had gone right here, but he's able to sort of regain his feet, reach out. Looks like he was trying to work the ball over to the right side, but in the end it falls on his left foot, and he's got a good angle. Goalkeeper over a little bit late, 2-0.
It didn't look initially like they were going to get the cross in, but Sandoval stayed with it and right on the end line, able to hit that ball across and keep the play alive. So now La Roca really with a steep hill to climb.
Tigres looking really good to defend that under-17 title that they won last year. Tigres, of course, from not too far away in Monterrey, been really an important member of this Dallas Cup tournament for years and years. Got a good local following.
Actually saw them play in the Supergroup a couple years ago. I believe we had both Tigres and Monterrey playing against under 20 sides from Panama and Honduras. Both of those clubs made it to the final, but they were some very intense matches, those semifinals. That was from 2022, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, this is, of course, the under-17 championship, but Tigres with 4 Supergroup titles, more than any other team.
Little flick forward by Ramirez again. He's been a handful. Nieto couldn't bring it down. And La Roca is going to make another substitution shortly as they have Kevin Rodea up and ready to come in. Pinging ball from the left. Misses everybody, but boy, La Roca can't even get the ball out of their own half of the moment. That's going to be trouble as they need not 1 but 2 goals.
I think at the end of the first half, they were spirited by the fact that they were back in the game after sort of withstanding the siege for 30 minutes.
I think they were the better team there for the last 10.
Probably for the last 15 minutes. But once the first goal goes in here in the second half, that goal by De La Cruz in the 58th minute, I think it became a little harder for them to believe they could get back in the match. And then once the second goal goes in from Ibarra in the 62nd minute, it's got to be pretty discouraging, and sort of looks like it right now for La Roca. And as you said, they can't get the ball out of their own half. I think that's a marker of it.
Well, once again, the substitution, Carlos Nieto comes out, number 7. And in comes number 14, Kevin Rodea. He playing on the left wing. So a fresh attacker, and here he is on the ball right now. Cross was blocked by Sandoval. Second effort, blocked again by the Tigres right back.
Nice job there by Sandoval. Cross prevention.
Now they try to work it free. De La Cruz, who scored the first goal.
You know, all that said a minute ago, you know, if La Roca can find a way through a set piece or through some of the stuff individually Cubillas is doing, they can get that first goal, it'll sort of re-energize them.
And they showed a pretty nice kick at the end of the half, so maybe there's another wind. I don't know if I'd call it the second, maybe the third.
Yeah, and again, it's not just today. It's, remember, 5 games before this one, starting last Sunday.
Foul on Bridger Lucas.
Yeah, specifically, La Roca played Sunday. Of course, we had the rains around here on Monday, so they kicked a lot of those games. The Dallas Cup tournament did. Kicked a lot of those Monday games into Thursday. So La Roca, I said they played over the last week, but really because they skipped Monday and Tuesday, look at that. Owen
played every day this week since.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then again today.
And so too has Tigres. They played Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Boy, that is a grueling schedule to play 5 straight days. Talk about 3 games in 8 days in Major League Soccer as being a particularly hard. How about 5 and 5?
Yeah, and they're young men. They're 16 years old mostly. So
long shot, Menendez wide.
They're excited about it, but and look, if any of us, any soccer player would love to know if you told us, hey, you're going to get to play 5 games in a big tournament, 5 days, we'd say, that's awesome, I can't wait, but we would get tired.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt, especially even at that age. But, again, 5 games versus 5 days of training. I think most players choose games.
Well, every single time. I never minded training. I liked it. But give it the choice.
But if it was a game.
Give it the choice.
Yes, no doubt. I also enjoyed going to practices. Some could say I could use a few more.
We all could.
Orlando Santana. Through the middle, Menendez. It's only the one substitute, Menendez, at halftime so far, replacing Alberto Pizzet. Otherwise, Tigres, who have plenty of subs right now, they have 6 warming up in the north end line. They've not started rotating yet, although I wouldn't be surprised when you get to the final 20 minutes if we saw a few more changes with the 2-goal lead. But they have been in command so far in the second half. Foul drawn by Sandoval as he pulls himself off the grass.
So how about this, Owen? Tigres looking increasingly like they're going to win the under-17 title here at the Dallas Cup. If they can do that, it's going to give them 17 all-time titles in the Dallas Cup in all age divisions. And that's more than any other club. Right now, Monterrey has 16, so Tigres is tied with them, the crosstown rival.
That would be some bragging rights for Dallas Cup domination. But it's not over yet. Still have 21 minutes or so. And La Roca with possession. Ooh, that one came up off the hand of Walt Kilgore, a yard inside his penalty area.
I thought he was right on the line, and so maybe that gives him a little reprieve. And, of course, no VAR in this one, so the referee from England, Emily Hislop, didn't see it or didn't call it, whatever, and that's going to be the end of it.
It would have been a particularly harsh decision to have that turn into a penalty kick, given that it was sort of a little bad hop that went ball to hand. But I think we all saw it.
By letter of the law, if it happens, it's still a penalty kick. But you're right in that it's not like a scoring opportunity was prevented.
And almost on cue, here come 3 substitutions getting ready for Tigres. Kilgore.
And you wonder how much of that is tactical or personnel related versus just, hey, let's make sure we get as many players in getting to play in a final as possible.
Menendez. Big hit by Alvarado. And Tigres has sort of stepped off the gas a little bit, as you might expect after a 2-0 lead. They don't seem to have quite the same push going forward, and maybe that's why their coach is going with 3 substitutions, is to bring a little bit of energy here with the 2-goal lead and seem to be content to just kind of possess this for a few minutes.
Yeah, but that's okay. You know, you don't need to win the final. We mentioned a while ago, the scores for Tigres. They scored 6, 6, 5, 3, and 4 coming into this one. But you don't need to win the final. You don't get extra points for, by winning at 4-0,
That's right.
5-0.
Goal differential doesn't come into play into a final.
So, I think it's just tactically the smart thing to do, to take a little air out of the ball, control possession as much as possible and just make sure you're controlling the game through possession.
Alvarez goes down, draws a foul. Ramirez picks up the ball. The referee is showing some patience here because easily could have called Ramirez for time wasting or delay on the ball, more appropriately. And the referee is going to allow the substitutions here as Tigres is about to make a triple change.
I like this from Tigres. Again, not sure if it is tactical, but either way, I like that more players are going to get to come in and play in this great stadium, Toyota Stadium, play on a nice field. We know how good the turf is down there. And, you know, even at the highest level, you hear some professional soccer players talking about a final and how it's just special. You don't get to play in that many of them. I mean, really good players sometimes don't get, just depending on what team they're at, they just don't get to play in that many finals this way. I remember Michael Bradley talking about it. You know, he'd been in a career that took him through Europe and to some different places there, then back into the United States and U.S. national team. Talking about there was one final with the national team in CONCACAF, and he said, you know, this is one of the only finals I've ever played in as a pro, so it's always special.
For all the big games, sometimes there isn't that one-off, as you just said. All right, 3 substitutions for Tigres. They brought off Eric De La Cruz, who scored the first goal here in the second half, as well as the left center back Aldair Loera and the left back Carlos Cañamar. And they replaced them with number 289 Kevin Acedo, 286 Emilio Cruz, and 297 Gabriel Ramirez. So some fresh legs on for Tigres here with a 2-goal lead, about 17 minutes or so plus stoppages available. And you could, as we said, after the second goal, the energy has dropped a little bit. Tigres holding the ball. La Roca may be on fumes here. We'll see what the triple change does for the pace of play for Tigres.
Yeah, on fumes physically, and you've lost that emotional lift of knowing you're still in the game. And I get it's just really hard right now for me to see a real way back for La Roca, for the team out of Utah. And look, these players, 16 years old, but at this level, they've seen the game, they know the game. And, you know, if I don't see a way back, yeah, they might have some belief that maybe they can nick a goal and get back into it, but they see the game as well, and they know that right now Tigres is a better team. And
picked off by Bridger Lucas, but then one back by Tigres. Here's one of the new substitutes coming on. Acedo down the right side, leaves it off. Diego Ramirez, and it's 3. So many chances. He set up the second, and Diego Ramirez now has his goal. 75th minute. It's Tigres 3 and La Roca 0.
Well, you'd have to say that Ramirez deserved that. He's done so many things for his team in this game in terms of unbalancing the La Roca defense, in terms of occupying defenders, in terms of creating chances through his running and his spacing. And so now he finally gets his reward after maybe 5-6 shots.
It was definitely a volume day for Diego Ramirez.
Yeah, high volume day, you're right. Shooting day, but beating Candle at the near post that time, he finally gets his reward in the 75th minute.
Oh, that was another sub for a sub. Kevin Rodea came on at the 65th minute, and now 10 minutes later, another change as Number 20, Fred Mendez, is on for the club from Utah.
You know, I talked about how Tigres maybe doesn't need to score more goals. And I think a lot of the players are okay just knocking the ball around right now. But you know who doesn't want to score a goal is anybody who's just come on as a substitute.
No doubt. And they're going to bring 2 more Tigres shortly here as they pretty much empty their bench now, minus probably their backup goalkeeper, if they have one.
What a completely dominant tournament performance from Tigres out of Monterrey. Wins the first group game 6-0. That was over Solar. Second game 6-2. Finish out group play by winning 5-1. Get into the quarterfinals. Beat the FC Dallas, one of the FC Dallas ECNL teams, 3-0. And then, you know, for a semifinal, you'd expect to be a tougher match. They just cleaned that one up against a wide rush, 4-0. So, and
yeah,
here,
ho hum.
Yeah. So really, they're gonna win this tournament without ever having really been pushed. Maybe the last 15 minutes, though, into the first half is as much as of course, I didn't see all the other matches, but that may have been as much as they've been pushed in this whole tournament, and that was a pretty short window.
Tigres has won a corner kick here. A referee is going to allow the substitutions, although typically they don't on a corner, but they'll let them here.
Yeah, I think it's okay to sub on a corner. A lot of times,
that's Miguel Sandoval who came off.
A lot of times teams just, especially defensively, they don't want to sub on a corner kick.
And the second one off is Carlos Morales. So coming on will be Jaime Obregon and Jesus Miranda.
As you saw the changes there happen, I love that there's a full crew of not just English referees, but English female referees. Isabel Chaplin, one of the ARs, Grace Lowe, fourth official, Melissa Bergen. Dallas Cup a few years ago, re-adding the girls division, which I really like. I think it's just the right thing to do, but also love that getting more female referees in the game all the way around. Mentioned that the head referee today, Emily Hislop, she's got experience already in the Women's Super League.
So we have about 12 minutes to go plus stoppages in the boys U17 final. Tigres is in control here, up 3-0. They have made all the substitutions they can make, I believe. And they've made 6, so that's it. I don't know if it's not everybody on their bench, but it's most of them. La Roca still has a sub they can make if they so choose so, and they may do it. There is a player wearing a substitute penny walking along the sideline here. We'll see if they make a final change. But there was, you know, this match really turned. The backbreaker was probably the second goal, but even the first, because we talked about it again. For about 35 minutes, Tigres dominated, but they were wasteful in their opportunities in front of goal. And La Roca were all over them and had 3 or 4 really good chances, including Patrick Stevenson's shot from 30 yards out that produced a spectacular save from Luis Patricio Gomez. Going into halftime, it wasn't unrealistic to think that La Roca might be the team that had the lift because of how they felt at the final 10 minutes. But boy, did it change in the second half. And you mentioned it, Steve. We saw fatigue in their game in the first half. They had their maybe second wind, but the Tigre side has been just overwhelming here in the second 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was that 4-minute stretch, wasn't it?
A cross in, flag goes up. It was out of play.
Yeah, that
maybe a goal kick.
Excuse me, that 4-minute stretch. De La Cruz finally breaking the barrier, giving his Tigres team the 1-0 lead. Then Ibarra following up that 4 minutes later, and that was pretty much it. Tigres really slowing the pace there. You know, being okay to knock the ball around a little bit, attacking when they had the opportunity, picking up that third one from a well-deserved one from Ramirez in the 75th minute.
Ball down the left side. Here's Ibarra. who scored the second goal. Appeals for a penalty. Fall on deaf ears for the referee.
I think there was some contact there, but maybe the referee, Emily Hislop, the judging that he wasn't going to reach that ball anyway. We'll have VAR later today as these finals roll all through the afternoon, but no VAR for this one.
Lawson, his pass picked off. A chance for Tigres to add to it. Acero, good hustle by Archuleta back, but Acero wins the ball. Out wide. Here's Jesus Miranda. Just came on the field a couple of minutes ago. A little 1-2, Acero toward the end line. Header, goalkeeper's out and cleared away by Kilgore. A dogged determination by Miranda to stay away from Alvarez. Archuleta goes down trying to make that defensive action, and it's going to be a corner kick off of the La Roca left back.
How'd you like to be a La Roca defender right now? I think the outcome is probably decided.
The word that comes to mind is thankless.
You've been you've worked hard in the entire tournament. Now you've got to chase around a bunch of fresh subs from Tigres who are eager to get their name on the score sheet.
They're going to make a substitution here. Are they going to allow it? No, they're going to play. There's the cross, flicked on. Kendall came out. Kendall comes away with it after initial hesitation. Wanted to punt long, but one of the Tigres players was running in front of him. I think it was a good instinct from the goalkeeper not to take that connection, although typically if you get in front of a goalkeeper trying to punt, you're going to get discipline for it.
You will. You'll get the yellow card.
Here's a ball out to the right side. Running on is Fred Mendez. Takes a left-footed shot. Lashes it well over the bar. In the 84th minute.
That Kubias arriving, too. Maybe could have laid that one off. Might have been a better choice.
The last change here will be J.J. Kubias. Had his moments looking dangerous, especially late in the first half. And the final substitution of the day for La Roca will bring on Jorge Lara.
Interesting. I saw the referee Hislop walk over and ask Kubias maybe to, increase his stride a little bit as he leaves the field, which is a normal action for a referee, and she has an obligation to do that, to keep the play moving. Although what's interesting, Owen, is that I don't think players on either side really care about getting this one going any faster. And sometimes with referees, and I think most of them are pretty good about this. There's just some good common horse sense element, and what I'm getting to here is I don't think anybody's going to be too upset if there's not a whole lot of stoppage time added, even though there's been a lot of subs.
You wouldn't hear probably a lot of complaints from La Roca now, down 3, about the time wasting going on late or the gamesmanship. And very honestly, different if it was a one-goal game.
Well, 100%, and honestly, I don't even think there's been that much.
No, but in a substitute like this, again, La Roca, it's not as though it's 0-0 and they're playing for penalties or anything. Here is Mendez.
I mean, they're the team that's down, so
if they want to substitute slowly,
right? Yeah, nobody.
They're only hurting themselves.
Yeah, and in this case, I really don't think anybody cares that much about it. Good on both these teams. La Roca, well-earned place in the final. Tigres, so important to this Dallas Cup tournament all through the years. They're going to win. It's going to be tournament title number 17 in all age groups, more than any
other. What a trophy case, huh?
Yeah, wow. Any other club in the world, and we know this tournament has had literally the best clubs in the world, the Real Madrids, Manchester Uniteds, Arsenal, etc. Liverpool.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Obregon down the right side.
As soon as I said Arsenal, I knew I needed to throw Liverpool in there.
I mean, you should have even before, but that's a different conversation.
Okay.
Says one of the most decorated clubs in English football. And the referee saying that that ball did not stop moving on the goal kick as Max Kendall tried to play it a little too fast. And so instead, Quinn Bailey's just going to lash it up to midfield. You can definitely feel that the sting has gone out of this game. 3 second-half goals for Tigres. 58th minute, Eric De La Cruz, the breakthrough. 4 minutes later in the 62nd minute, it was Luis Ibarra who doubled their lead. And then Diego Ramirez, the end of a war of attrition between he and the goal, scored in the 75th minute to make it 3-0. We tease him because he was creating so many chances, had the assist on the first goal. A little wasteful in the first half, but in the end, he has a goal in his name, and they're about to get a Dallas Cup championship to take home to Monterrey. But not, of course, to the club Monterrey, but to the state, as Tigres, clearly their crosstown rival. Make sure everybody knows.
Not handing off that trophy.
We're well aware of that. We've seen their senior side here at Toyota Stadium in a friendly. Long ball forward. Monterrey, the other club, they were here recently, I believe. And that ball sent out for a throw.
See both of these, those teams, Monterrey and Tigres, their senior clubs in the Leagues Cup a little bit later this summer.
Late July is when that gets underway for the second edition of the joint MLS Liga MX Leagues Cup. I thought that first iteration last summer was much more successful, I think, than anybody could have hoped.
Well, I think that had a lot to do with one player.
Well, Leo Messi helped a great amount. But what I mean is that even the matches we saw without Messi in it, the level of competition and the intensity of the matches were very, very high. I think that, you know, fans were maybe used to seeing Mexican sides play against Major League Soccer clubs in friendlies where, you know, there's maybe a little bit of animosity at a moment, but it's a friendly. These were very competitive games of which teams wanted to win.
Well, I just want to win to the point that they're sort of complaining about having to play all the matches in the United States. I mean,
good challenge by Archuleta there to deny Acedo.
So clearly it's an important tournament for everybody.
That was always the concern, was how much our club's going to prioritize Leagues Cup. And from our vantage point last year, a lot. Nice little move by Bridger Lucas. Can he get it? He does, but can't connect with Mendez. And Luis Ibarra flicks one forward. Long run. Ramirez looking for maybe a second. Archuleta closes him down with a hard but fair shoulder challenge. Oh, Ramirez came back through him, and he's lucky not to get more than just a foul against him. Then he kicks the ball away. He's been very good, Diego Ramirez, but he's getting a little bit of leniency from the referee. He didn't like that challenge from Archuleta, and he got almost instant retribution, but avoided going into the pocket.
Yeah, and you just hope that everybody understands that the match is decided and that common sense can prevail here.
Here's a flick forward. Menendez on his left, back heel. A turn from Ibarra, but defended by Lucas. And Lawson. Lawson was the one that got the last foot on that challenge. Acedo. Archuleta. You talk about thankless defending in a 3-0 deficit.
Archuleta still getting into the tackles, still defending hard. As I said, I think it'll happen. I think good sense will win out in the end. Everybody will just calm down and finish out the match.
Bailey sends it away. 3 minutes of stoppage time is going up on the board here as we are into second half stoppage time now. Fred Mendez, the substitute, switches over to the left side for Stevenson. Cuts back on his right foot. Stevenson wanted to line something up, then leaves it across. Missed the foot of Jorge Lara, but they keep it alive. Here's Lara, turns. Plays it out wide. Lucas, long run and just too far away with very tired legs at this point. For those of you watching, that if you just don't have enough Dallas Cup to satiate your appetite, we will have the U18s and the U19 boys finals to follow. 11:30 and 2 o'clock. And then 4:30, the Gordon Jago Supergroup, which will feature FC Dallas versus Sao Paulo from Brazil. And a player that we were instantly enamored with, Ryan Dos Santos, who had a hat trick and an assist in the first semifinal on Friday afternoon.
Had a pass that set up a penalty kick as well that wasn't converted.
Boy, that's right. He was all over that game.
Yeah, FC Dallas Supergroup team have their hands full with that one, with that kid.
Here is Ramses Alvarez. Turns, dribbles forward. Out to the left for Archuleta, getting an opportunity to touch the ball in the attacking half, which is a nice change of pace for him after so much defending here in the last 10 minutes. And a foul called against Alvarez. The wind picking up just a little bit here as we get closer to the 11 o'clock hour in Frisco. I know you were in the Cotton Bowl this weekend, Steve. The fact that some of the Supergroup games to kick off the tournament there, always an iconic venue.
Historic.
And some people say still one of the best playing surfaces around.
I can personally tell you, I was on it yesterday, and it's still amazing.
Of course, the grounds crew here at Toyota Stadium also does a fantastic job, particularly considering the number of matches. Boy, we got a little bit of enthusiasm there at the end. Is some short tugging. We don't see that very often. And for just a minute, I thought that the substitute Jaime Obregon might be ready to take his shirt off to offer that.
I think that's what he was saying here. Do you want my shirt?
It seemed like there was some sarcasm in the end of that.
But I like that.
And that's it. The U17 side from Tigres are the 2024 Dallas Cup Boys U17 final champions as they knock off La Roca 3-0. And we'll take a look at the trophy presentation next.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain... And then there's the sauce that just gives you a little bit of... And the cheese, it's the exact right amount of... It's almost too hard to put it into... Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Tacos.
Can Billy come out to play?
Yes!
The all-new Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
She said she wasn't hungry. She only wanted a bite. But this isn't just a patty melt. This is a Whataburger patty melt. The all-time favorite. with 2 all-beef patties, Monterey Jack, grilled onions, and creamy pepper sauce. So 1 bite became 2, and 2 became mine. Just a bite, huh? Mark that one down as a lesson learned. The Whataburger Patty Melt, just like you like it. She said she wasn't hungry. She only wanted a bite. But this isn't just a patty melt. This is a Whataburger Patty Melt, the all-time favorite, with 2 all-beef patties, Monterey Jack, grilled onions, and creamy pepper sauce. So 1 bite became 2, and 2 became mine. Just a bite, huh? Mark that one down as a lesson learned. The Whataburger Patty Melt, just like you like it.
Tacos.
Can Billy come out to play?
Yes!
The all-new Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain... And then there's the sauce that just gives you a little bit of... And the cheese, it's the exact right amount of... It's almost too hard to put it into... Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Back here at the 2024 Dallas Cup is Tigres is the champion for the boys U17 division, beating La Roca out of Utah. 3-0 the final. And the Tigres players receiving their winners' medals. La Roca just received their runners-up. And you know, Steve, I know in the moment finishing in second feels awful because they lost the final. But to reach the final, still an amazing accomplishment through a very tough division.
Yeah, well, not only that, but they lost to a really good team. How about this, Owen? Dominant on the day, Tigres, but dominant in the tournament. They have just won this tournament, outscoring their opposition 27-3. I mean, that's what you get in, you know, some weekend youth soccer tournaments, not in a high-level tournament like this. That means that is a really good Tigres team down there getting their trophies right now.
And now the trophy presentation for Tigres as they won their 17th Dallas Cup title as a club. And they, for the second straight year, have won the U17 division. Different roster this time, of course. But they will be very thrilled to once again take that trophy back to Mexico.
That organization has heard a lot of Freddie Mercury through the years. That's a Queen reference. We're the champions playing in the...
Well, we thank you very much for joining us here on this opening match of the Easter Sunday Finals.